Good morning, everybody. I was just talking to somebody, and we were both wondering why, uh, unlike the madness of crowds, which dissipate after some time, Charles MacKay's famous book, basically the madness of crowds, after some time, one by one, people start seeing the logic, and so the madness dissipates. So why is that not happening this time? The only other time when the madness of crowds does not dissipate, does not go away, is with cults. And we know about cults. They are generally very small and very close-knit. And that actually prompted me to think more about the COVID hysteria and the vaccine hysteria, not really as hysterias, not really as madness of the crowd, but as cults. And I think Gigi Foster has already alluded to this, and Paul Fridges in their book, The Great COVID Panic, they call this the cult, COVIDian cult. But it's not just the COVIDian cult. It's not the COVID cult. It's also the vaccine cult. And what is the big difference between a cult and a hysteria? And I think when thinking about it, it became clear that the difference is the social networks that create bonding and therefore dopamine. So I'm very familiar with this among the various groups that have supported the lockdowns, like I Stand with Dan kind of people. And so this runs within families. So within families, certain families unite in favor of the narrative, the COVID narrative or the cult narrative. They bond very closely with each other. They also bond closely with other families that believe in the cult. So they become a much more integrated unit. That helps them in many other ways. So this is why the COVID hysteria is not really a hysteria. It is more in the space of cult. And with the vaccines, I think I've seen it at very close quarters with people who are, part of the freedom movement, freedom rally, etc. They actually need each other for social bonding because they've been rejected by the other side. And so what they do is they come together, they have the get-togethers, they have the barbecues, and they're very commonly seen during the election period. But even otherwise, they have the get-togethers. Bonding happens within each other. They talk to each other about how bad vaccines are, how bad this is, and so on. And that is a great thing for them. So for them to realize that the vaccines really didn't kill anybody that is significant, that can be seen in the data of any country, Sweden, Ireland, Australia, you can't see it. For them, again, this doesn't make sense. They don't want to believe it. They have no faith in people who say that, because they actually lose. If they were to agree that the vaccines did not really kill on a large scale, what would happen to them? They would become unpopular in their freedom rally groups. They would lose the only social bond that they have. So that is why this is not just going away by itself. It's not a hysteria where you provide information and it goes away. This is more like a cult where people don't want the information. That is what we're seeing here. And so how do we beat two different kind of cults in society? Normally cults are very small. It's 1% of the society or less forms a cult. Wait, what happens when 97% are in a cult? One of two cults, either the COVID cult or the vaccine cult. What happens then, and how do you really get out of this situation is pretty much a mystery, but I will continue doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to go out and print and distribute these flyers that I've been talking about. I've been doing it, I started yesterday. We will continue today. And that is my attempt to break the knowledge barrier, but I don't think people are necessarily interested in knowledge. When they're in a cult, they resist knowledge. And so that's where, unfortunately, we are today. Hopefully, we'll find a solution to this problem of dual cults, the two cults that we're seeing in front of us today. Okay, bye. Thank you.